Hi guys, today on the Word School series we'll be talking about something important, okay? Debts and investments. This is one topic that, many of you need to sit down and listen to because it can help you to, learn more about how to go about managing your debts, either paying it off before investing or being on the debt while investing. Now, this question always comes to mind. Should you clear debt before investing? Okay. Now, there is no straight answer to this question because it depends on the kind of debt that you are currently on. Because there are some debts that are high interest debts. There are some debts that are low interest debts. And you have to also understand how money works. Money gets devalued over time. That's why you see in every currency in the world, even the most stable economy, the prices of things 50 years ago, 30 years ago have changed with you needing more money to buy same item. Okay, so you should understand that sometimes paying off your debt is the best thing that can happen to you through this your financial journey. Whereas some other time, using your debt as leverage to make more money before clearing that debt might be the right thing to do. Whereas some other time, you rather do both, clear part of the debt while also investing. Okay, so there is no clear answer to debts and investments. And this video is just to educate you like we do in this school, okay, it's Word School series, and allow you to be more informed and learn how to navigate personally, okay? Because not all debts is the same, okay? And like I said initially, there are basically two types of debts. The first one is the high interest toxic debts, okay? Like things like credit card, which some charge 30, 35, 25% interest, okay? Some overdraft that charge you daily. In fact, it's explained that you can even pay up to 40% from that. Or some high interest personal loan, okay? That's above 6%, okay? But mainly, if your debt is charging you from 20%, 25%, 30% interest, then it's not worth investing first because the truth is most real investment really gives above 8 to 15% on the average per annum. Okay, so no strategy can justify you investing while you have not cleared that debt. So in that situation, your best guaranteed return is what? Paying off the debt. Okay? Because paying off a debt that you are owing 25% interest is like you earning 25% free should you settle that debt. So no stock, no treasury bill, no mutual funds can give you safely 30%. Okay, regularly. Now, if you have this high interest debt, like I said, focus aggressively in clearing it. Now let's now go to the second one, which is low interest controlled debt, among which we have like debt, like some people that have mortgage, that the mortgage is just 3%, 2%, 5%, okay, 4%, okay. Some people also that have personal loan that is below 6%, so between 3 to 5%, okay. In this case, paying back that debt needs nuanced approach, okay, because Most average, most conservative investment, let's use the S&P 500 for instance, give averagely between 8 to 13%. So mathematically, investing and paying off that debt very slowly makes more sense. I don't know if you're getting me. Because your money is growing faster than your debt is costing you in that situation. But one thing is very important, even in this situation, discipline. Because if you don't have discipline, you might still have problem even while using this method. Because if you don't make all your repayments on time, even though you're paying it fractionally, okay, and you don't avoid increasing that debt more, and you ensure that this investment you're investing consistently, you're not just blowing the money on trivialities, okay, then that's a good approach, okay. But there is a more balanced approach which some people do, okay, which I've already talked about. Investing, if you have low interest paying debt too, investing while also paying off the debt. But before you go into all this investing while paying off the debt, still ensure you have emergency fund buffer, even if it's just 2 3 months, because it helps you sometimes not to panic when that investment is looking as if things are, fluctuating. It gives you that buffer that you don't just sell off the investment in panic and lose both ways, okay? So that way, when you have an emergency fund in place, even while you are owing debt, yes, some people will say, why will I have an emergency fund while owing debt? That's a fair question when your debt is a high interest debt. Based with a very low interest debt, like all those 3%, 4%, 2.5%, and you are still investing, that emergency funds help you in the period, just like now in this global period where the war is making trillions to be wiped every day from the S&P 500 and the like. If you don't have an emergency fund and you are looking at your owing debt and you are seeing the investment is fluctuating, you might end up just selling at a loss. But if you have emergency fund, be it just 2 3 months, it's help you to regulate your emotions better. Okay, so in a nutshell, when you have high interest loans, pay the debt first. When you have low interest loans, then you have to decide if you are investing part of it and paying part of the loan in a more gradual form while leveraging on that debt to build wealth. Okay, so follow me for more. This is the West Coast series. We discuss this, and if you want to know more, okay, just put on the comment section no more, okay, and we will be doing this regularly. And like I always say, it's not financial advice. It's a word school series where we rub minds and just discuss formulas which have worked for a lot of people who are successful and still working for people who are successful, that we build that culture of wealth management, financial discipline, and help you navigate life struggles in a more structured and contained manner. See you on the next video. Have a nice day.